So, yeah, here we are.
Nothing like it when everything goes wrong. You can't beat a burner, can
No.
you? Shit hits a fan, straight for the pack of ciggies.
So, mate, when you want to have a bit of a play for us, bring us in around the campfire and show us some of your favourite things to play at the moment.
No worries, man. Wow. Well, hopefully this is. I'm still getting used to this new pickup set. I ordered it when I got the railboard sent over, and I never bothered putting it in because I was a little bit scared of it. Now I see why I was scared of it because it's quite different to get the head around how it all set, how it all works.
Yeah.
I think I'm starting to get a. That's even. Can you just let me know if that sounds even when I play?
Yeah, man, sounds great.
Lead's very quiet, isn't it? Just been mucking around with some really lazy stuff of late. I don't have to move. I can shut my eyes. That sounds awesome. The lazy stickers. In true Aussie style. I mean, we're all lazy.
Yeah, we've had to thank our American hosts over there for the in accommodating the laid back Aussies.
Well, look, we're proving how laid back Aussies are, really. I mean, look at Telstra. Look at the interruptions we've had today. You love our fantastic bloody internet over here, don't you?
Yeah, it's I think yeah, I think Evil Gus, Justin Levis said it's the second worst in the world, next to Denmark or whoever it is.
It's that bad that even the service providers advertising it that ours is the worst in the world. Just have you seen those?
No, no.
iiNet's advertising it, and they're bragging. They show this chart up that says Germany's way up here and Australia's all the way down the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. It's true Aussie true Aussie humility, isn't it?
It's just fantastic.
Surely she is.
Yeah.
So, mate, what's one of the first things that you ended up learning to play, and what do you find comforting about playing that? And what do you like about playing that?
Um, the very first thing I wanted to learn, obviously, was the one that I first saw, Bob Culbertson's um, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. That just wasn't going to happen. Like, uh, I'm watching it and trying to copy because I can't read music. I haven't got a clue how music theory works. And right throughout any instrument that I've ever played, I do it all by matching the tone.
Yeah,
Um, so if I want to, when I want to find something or new to play, I listen to the song and then I find it on here. Um, so the first thing that I was actually able to find, and believe it or not, I can't play it for the life of me now, was a very rough version of Greensleeves, I think. There you go, proof I can't play for the life of me anyway.
What?
Uh,
Hey, because I've been to school lately at university, that last note that you kind of didn't get, it's the leading tone, sharp in the sharp seven in the
hey,
minor.
you know what? You know what? It
What?
still means nothing to me.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, so from there I progressed and I really got dedicated there for a little while just to learn one song all the way through. I failed. I didn't learn it all the way through, so I made it my own. And everybody has. There's a lot of people that have done it. And it was the first one that I ever published, I think, to YouTube, which was Time After Time. So I got all more or less all the way through it. I cheat at the end, and then I cut it off very, very short. In true Aussie form of being lazy again.
Yeah, I think we're taking lazy to genius levels actually over here.
Look, we get picked on for it all the time, so why not just embrace it and gloat about it, you know?
So,
I get called lazy all the time. I just turn around and say guilty.
yeah. And what about, can you talk people through, I don't know if you've ever really thought about this too much, but, once you've started covering a song, can you talk people through how you would arrive at your different parts and what kind of considerations you have?
Um, to be 100% truthful, I don't really think about it. Um, if that can make any sense. Just the other night, I was mucking around with a good Aussie song, Red Gum's Only 19. And
Jeez.
basically all I do is to find the start of it. So I get that part happening, yeah. Then I search, literally, I could start. Nah, that's not going to work. There it is. And the right hand, and this is what I was saying in part one, my right hand I've never ever struggled with. I've always been able to find what I want with it. It's always been the left hand that I have had a lot of trouble with. So now if I start with my left hand, find what I want to in the left, I can generally follow it very easily with my right.
So your consideration is the range in which you're going for, where it sounds right and where it feels right.
That's right. And quite often it will sound right to me on this, but if I was to play it at the same time, even though in the same key or chord, whatever it's called, and played it to the CD, I would sound absolutely nothing like it. Quite often. Sometimes it flukes and it sounds pretty similar, but yeah, most of the time it doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the best thing about, or one of the best things about this instrument is that um, the way that Emmett's set it up, it's you almost have to try things in a different way, and I think that's really a big part of developing our personal voice is to really check out the different possibilities with any one phrase,
That's right. I've been at it, what is it, a bit over 12 months now. I think I've had the grand that I've got. I've only just started getting to a point where I can play things in an alternate way. For example, I suppose. So there was no variation in the left hand there. So now I've worked out how I can go. And starting to use the lower notes with with the little finger
Right.
instead of just the same pattern the whole way through,
Yeah, yeah.
which is great because it's starting to get me left hand finally doing some stuff that it's never been really any good at.
Right. Yeah, that's a pretty good show off. Just who was
Like
that again? No.
I can't pronounce it. Is it Patch Bells? Cannon? Patch
Oh, Packer Bell's Cannon.
Packer Bells Cannon indeed.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
cool.
I haven't
Ah,
managed to get it fluently using the little finger yet, but so getting there.
that's unreal. You've got such a great taste in covers too, Neville. You know, you've that when we were setting up before the Dire Straits one, which was what was it again?
Which one? There was two.
Uh, the uh,
The
the
first one.
ballad, the
They're both ballads. The local hero theme.
no, the other one.
Why worry?
Why worry? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, play that again.
Yep.
Do it now.
But it doesn't actually start like that, I don't think. Yes, it does. I haven't quite got there yet.
Yeah.
I know why I'm mucking up there. But see, this is the trouble with not knowing what chords and what notes I'm playing still to the day is I didn't realise I was in the wrong spot then until I worked out that, nah, that's not right in my right hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so it should have been. That's better. Ah, not having a good run with that one today.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what's good about this little lazy Aussie stickers kind of exercise here right now is it's a great little window into the choices that we all have to make in terms of getting a cover down, isn't it? You know, like it's that's what you spend all the time in the bedroom looking for, and I think hopefully once you've got it underhand, then like you said before, like 10 minutes ago, you were saying about the freedom you've got now to play within the arrangement. You know.
That's right. I mean, I think the arrangement that I'm most proud of is probably, um, and most here would probably have seen it on YouTube, is my version of Mr. Big's "To Be With You."
Yeah.
I spent months on that trying to work it out. Um, it's probably it's not my most fluent song still, but definitely it took a lot of time in arranging it. and trying to work out where to go next, and crashing hands, of course, when you're first working it out. Um, but yeah, it's I just try and play anything that pleases the ear to myself, I suppose.
Yeah, great. Like, coming back to, I just have to correct myself about your rail board. It did go to Elliot, didn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Elliot McCann. So, um, I don't know. You
And
said,
very aptly gave it a fantastic new name.
yeah. What did you call it again?
He's got, I can't remember whether it was Colossus or he's yeah, I'm not sure what his polycarb's called. I can't remember
Yeah, yeah,
whether, yeah, he's got fantastic names for both of them.
yeah, yeah. He's he's quite a cat.
Oh,
He's
he's a
quite
great
a
bloke. We've had a couple of chats online and yeah, no, fantastic bloke.
yeah. He's quite a unit. But
As
like
you say.
moving on, yeah. Just moving on from the idea of range and melody choices. I know when you bought the rail board, because you're so used to the 12, the grand. Like, can you say anything else about what you didn't like about the rail board in terms of your own needs?
There was nothing I didn't like about it. Literally, there was nothing I didn't like about it. I loved it. The the only thing I didn't like about it, well, it's not so much that I didn't like about it. It limited me in the way I play, um, and mainly is because you're missing two strings, and I've lost
Yeah,
all sound altogether now. That's interesting. Cool.
it's
We
all
might have
that
played
heat.
something else.
It's all that heat over there, mate.
Must have broken the mixer. That's interesting.
Um,
No lead side.
the lead didn't come loose or something.
I don't know.
Oh,
It's a little strange. Nothing's muted. Ah, I know what it is.
what
On
do you
this
got?
pickup, on this pickup set,
Yeah.
the different voicing gets stuck halfway between them. Each set.
Oh, yeah.
There it goes.
Cool. Okay,
That
so
whistle was at myself on the computer, mind you. I wasn't whistling at you.
well, I might be pretty, but I'm not really worth it, mate.
Oh, I just got close up to my monitor. I thought it looked pretty good. I thought it warranted a.
What, me or the stick?
No, my video, not yours.
Hey, mate, can you talk about the new lap bar that you've made? Just we got a glimpse of it there before.
Yeah,
So
mate.
just
Yep.
just show folk about it looks like a beautiful piece of work.
Basically, when I first started playing, it wasn't long after I'd had a major car accident, and I found that I couldn't stand for all that long, and that was, prohibiting how much time I actually did spend on the stick. Um, and I had heard of other people, and of course seen Bob with his straight bar across his legs. I tried that, and just it wasn't comfortable for me. So I grabbed the dirty old bit of 4x2 from out the backyard, and I set up the bench grinder, and away I went. I started hacking at this bit of 4x2, and basically I had a raw structural pine version of what I'm holding now, which is made of Aussie River red gum. Contoured to go straight over the lap, drops it nice and low so that you can still use your full height up and down with your belt hook. I'm working with a fella at the moment to develop well, I don't really know what to call it shy of a Bailey channel. You know what a Bailey channel is in a window of a car? the felt
Oh yeah.
that goes all the way around. Basically, we're trying to develop something like that there at the moment to go in through the belt hook slot to save, because at the moment I use a little piece of cloth, and I'll move my camera down. Oh, actually, no, I can stand up and show you. So basically, I just slide that across the belt hook slot and slide it in, and that protects both the timber and the stick itself.
Yeah.
Oop. But yeah, I'm quite proud of it. We've I don't make this one personally myself. I got that professionally made, and the ones that we were selling, um, they will continue to make them. Anything that goes for export obviously has to be kiln fired. We're not allowed to export anything that hasn't been kiln fired timber before it was made. But not that red gum's susceptible. I mean, it's probably one of the most least susceptible to insects, etc., that we have in Australia anyway. But it's a fantastic. It's light. It's strong. I know it's strong too now. It got thrown the other day. My sister annoyed me. It hasn't chipped. It hasn't broken. And finish that you're looking at too. The best part is it's not varnished. That is just basically sanded and polished raw timber. There's nothing added to the timber itself.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part. Like rosewood, it's like a rosy red, isn't it?
Well, if you look at, I mean, it's a very vivid red, and the grain on it is absolutely fantastic. If I turn the camera on HD, where are
It's a beautiful,
we? So we'll turn that up to
beautiful.
high definition. Yeah,
It's light, but it's really solid feeling wood, isn't it?
that's right, mate. Yeah, so I mean, you can see the grains in it.
Yeah, it's beautifully made.
And I've given it to a few people now just to see, because I was a little concerned with obviously taller, shorter, fatter, skinnier people as to
Right.
how well it was going to be versatile between them. And it's worked out in such a way that just because of how you do sit with the stick and that the
Yeah.
height, it seems to suit everybody.
Right.
So it's fantastic.
Yeah, marvelous. Well, it's great that you've got that just quietly. You've got that entrepreneur thing happening, and just providing another alternative for people because I mean it's just a great addition to what's already happening in the stick world.
Yep. No, it was just purely it came about mainly because I can't stand for long. It's yeah, and that's all right. Well, if I can't stand and play it, I'm going to sit and play it, and that's how I did it.
Yeah. Well, I know, post 40, I think a lot of us start to feel a bit about the lower back issues coming on.
Yep.
I mean, that I played
I'm not even close to that yet.
Yeah, well, hey, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but I've got sometimes if I'm a bit sore, I've got lower back. I've got a graphite. It's fairly heavy, and if I'm feeling a bit sore, I have to be careful how long I practice for. But I'm sure it'd be really nice to sit down and play with something like that.
Well, before I made it, I was using a normal back brace that you get from the pharmacy,
That's right.
and
Yeah.
instead of wearing it the normal way, you'd still put your Velcro to the front, but you'd flip it upside down so that the pointy part of the back brace was actually going down your butt crack, and it just sat perfect on your bum cheek,
Yeah.
and you could stand there, let go of the stick altogether, and you wouldn't even know it was there. It's fantastic.
Yeah. On your coit.
Not quite on the court.
Oh. Hey, moving along. I'm sure you try to keep it a family show, but tell everyone about your travels up the eastern seaboard because I was telling everyone how you're just one of these fearless stickists here in Australia that you just jumped on the horse and have gone out there and played for people. So tell us about that trip where you were just traveling and playing.
That was wow. I can't remember. Was that before I had that big meltdown, or was it after? Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I
It
think
might have been
after.
before. Was it after?
Yeah, I think it. No, I think it was before. Um, I didn't have very much courage to start with to play in front of everybody. I've always had no issues playing in front of people with the guitar. Um, it's always same as everybody. It's a confidence thing. Um, and I only had, I think at the time, maybe 4 or 5 songs that I could play somewhat well. Um, but I thought, well, bugger, if I'm going to get anywhere with it, I've got to be able to stand out there in front of people. They're not going to know if and that's the way I looked at it. They're not going to know if I make mistakes. They've never seen the bloody thing before. Um, so I went out and I did it, and never ever had a complaint, and it just built the courage up. So I kept driving along. Um, I think I went nearly 3 weeks without having to spend a cent of my own money. Just going to pubs and playing at the pub. They'd shout me a meal and a bed, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, it sounded like just a whale of a time. And I'm sure everyone can really relate to the fact of, getting out on stage, and it's a big deal, isn't it? Trying to get out there and just play, and you think, half the
Go
time you
for
just
it.
think, "Oh, this is going to be crap. I can't. I don't know even if you ever had that thought, because you and I are like chalk and cheese. I mean, I'm getting better at it. I'm getting out and playing now, but I spent so much time getting all my stuff together that I was going, oh, it's got to be this good before I get out there. But um, you've been a lot more sensible than that and understood that you need to play.
I think I've got a very big advantage in the fact that on the guitar, I play a lot of Kevin Bloody Wilson stuff. Um, so, you walk out you get out there and you play your normal songs, and then you break it, you suss out the crowd, and if you can, you crack out a couple of Kevin Bloody Wilson songs. The um, the jest that you can portray with that sort of music gives you that ability to be able to say, meh. Do you know what I mean? Like if you make a mistake, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. So,
Mate, do you know how niche that is? That an Aussie playing Kevin Bloody Wilson on stick.
I haven't played it on stick yet.
Haven't you? Oh, no, sorry. I'm thinking
No, that was all on guitar. So
on guitar, of course. Yeah, yeah.
um, that's how I got. I suppose I got an attitude where I just, oh, well, if I make a mistake, I'm only human, stiff,
Yeah.
and I might hear it, but most of the people that you're playing to, especially in Aussie pubs, as you know, they're too pissed to understand hear a mistake that's minor or anything anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's so true, isn't it? Like that people just don't really get it, especially as you said with the stick. They're just going along for the ride. So what the hell? Just get out and play.
well, they love the music. Aussies in general love music, um, and the best part about it is, and even it relates to all music, I suppose. It doesn't matter what instrument it is. Uh, Really, it doesn't matter if you make a mistake. That's just the attitude I've developed over the years, I suppose. And, you know,
Yeah,
if you worry too much about mistakes, you make more.
yeah. In fact, most crowds, I would say, across the world, when they see that you're either maybe dropping a few notes, but you still got it in there, they go with you because they're really happy that you're striving and you're just staying with it. They can appreciate that kind of courage. Or secondly, they can relate more to you because you're showing your vulnerability, and people appreciate stuff that's not so high-minded that they can't relate. There's no distance between you and the audience.
That's right, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you got the sadistic buggers like myself that I go in there. You made a mistake.
Yeah, what happened in bar 42 and a half?
but
Yeah.
yeah, no,
So,
it's. I'm absolutely and utterly in love with the instrument, mate. Like it's been without a doubt. I mean, with what I've been through, and quite a lot of it,
yeah,
and so do most people that associate with us here. I think without it, I'd be still in a very dark place.
yeah. That's beautiful.
And it was stuff like that Dire Straits stuff that just flowed while I was in that sort of frame of mind. Um, and then I had to get out of that, so I started playing some Billy Joel and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, mate, you look a lot more hip than you did 2 years ago, and there's obviously a lot of change going on.
I
But do
wasn't
you want to
very,
talk?
very well man back then, was I?
No, no. Do you want to sort of talk? I know it's a very personal thing, but do you want to
No,
fill people
I've
in?
got no, I got no issue with that, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, tell people like what your successes have been and what you've been able to sort of overcome.
Basically, after my car accident, this is probably the easiest way to explain it is in 2011, I went off the side of a bridge in a car. Um, I won't go into the details as to why I was in a bad frame of mind that let that happen, but um, the result was I shattered my pelvis. Um, well, the totally shattered the left-hand side of it. It wasn't just a break. Snapped the femur in half and totally severed the left branch of the sciatic nerve that goes down the left leg, which has basically left me with permanent um, phantom pains, exactly the same as what an amputee would have. So um, while I was in hospital, it was almost a full 12 months I spent in, and then the whole time they had me on OxyContin and Endone and all the fantastic opiates that they think are absolutely fantastic. And the damn things don't do really a heck of a lot for nerve pain. Fantastic for the bone damage and all the rest of it, but not very good for bone. So, of course, me being open-minded and everything else, I went searching. And I tried marijuana, and to an extent it was good, but still didn't really take the edge off the nerve. Sadly, as a truck driver all my life, I always had a bit of a partial love of the good old gear. But stupid me went a little bit further and went to the ice.
Yeah.
Sadly, that was the only time, and still to this day has been the only time that I've been totally free of pain. Um, there's obviously something in it that totally numbs the pain from nerves. Uh, Unfortunately, it numbs your brain as well. I was
Yeah.
an absolute and utter ruin, as you saw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I wasn't the same person. I couldn't speak the same. I couldn't think the same. I treated people very nastily. Um, but basically, I suppose it came down to a point where I'd lost everything. I'd lost access to my daughter. Basically, I only had the clothes on my back. And got to a point I said, well, blow this. I've got to do something about this. So I left the area that I was in. And not that I was running away from the drug itself, but moving away from the people that I could access it very easily.
Yeah.
And that's when I moved up to here to Moama and been clean. I think it's nearly 3 months to the day. No, it's longer than that. Wow, it'd been nearly 4.5 months now. Totally clean, cold turkey.
Yeah.
It's been a massive journey, and having to not so much look for total relief of pain, but learning to deal with it being there more than anything has been a pretty big learning curve. Instead of just taking the easy way out and going smoking some ice, I've had to learn how to cope with it, and it's a bugger. It hurts every day, all day. But it's there. It's there for the rest of my life. So I couldn't see myself surviving on ice for the rest of my life, so I had to do something about it.
Yeah.
Here I am. Got
Did
my
you?
skate back on.
Well, you look so much better. I remember when we met, like those 2 sessions in Caulfield. Like you were definitely. It was definitely Scott Nevill, but you definitely had. How should we say it, mate? You had 1 foot on the accelerator and 1 foot on the brake. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah.
I could tell it was you, but you were just on this sort of
Just on fast forward all the time.
on this fast forward headspace. But yeah, I mean, did you get any help with all that? Like, how did you manage to reform your character, shall we say?
Initially, I did. I didn't get any help as such. I
Yeah.
asked a lot of questions with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like obviously my own GP. Um, there's some fantastic drug and alcohol services in Geelong,
Yeah.
which is where I was at the time. But I couldn't see myself in a position where, like what they do, they operate in a group. Um, I've always been more or less a loner. I like my own company, and that I suppose that's come from being on the road all my life. But it was a choice. It wasn't. Yes, I was extremely addicted to the stuff, and at one point, it wasn't me saying I wanted it. It was the body saying, "You've got to have this, or you're not going to function." Um, it's crazy, isn't it? I could beat that, but I still can't beat the cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's basically, I suppose I got to a point where I was just that fed up with it and the way that I was treating people, and I was starting to see how I'd lost everything. And
Yeah.
just a light bulb came on and said, "Hey, idiot, come on, pull your head in."
Yeah. Well, mate, it's such a positive thing. It's such a great success. For you, and it's great to be able to share it, be able to actually just see it happening.
Oh, I got no shame about it, mate. Like, yeah, look,
Yeah.
I made one heck of a big mistake in my life, but
Yeah.
I'm getting back on track. I'm hopefully going to start seeing my daughter again shortly, which will be fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, she was 3 the other day. Um, yeah,
Wow.
so things are really going really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I finished my truck. Finally, I finished it.
Wow. I mean, I think most people can relate. I think addictions, it's a pretty wide spectrum if you want to talk about, there's either ciggies or there's, drugs. There's any number of things, and I think most people can relate to, and really, I'm sure they really feel it's a positive thing hearing your story. And I mean, I know for myself that it has to get to that point where it's that far gone that your body just says you just can't cope. Like this is enough. And the whole nature of addiction is that um, it doesn't go away. It just compounds. Addictions always compound.
Oh,
They
yeah,
don't
that's
just
right.
they don't just stop because you and I want them to. You know.
That's right. You've got to work at it every day. Like I could
Yeah.
quite like every day, just about still even now, I still get the
Yeah.
craving to go and have a smoke on the pipe.
Yeah. Yeah.
You over time you build up a resistance to your own thoughts,
Yeah. Yeah.
basically. And yeah,
And
not really
music,
anything
huh?
to do with that one though.
No. Well, the music is it's a big help, huh?
Uh,
Or can
yes,
be.
and
It's
yeah,
not.
with
Yeah.
with the drug ice, yes and no. Um, I probably learned more while I was on it, sadly, than what I have now since I've been off it. And
Yeah.
it's because you are on fast forward all the time,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you get. Well, I don't know how to explain it. I think you've seen me like it. I get that zoned in,
Yeah.
and the focus that you forget about everything else around you. It's not a good thing because you know, if I'd had one of those moments when the little one was around, I wouldn't have seen her trip over or anything because I'd be that focused in on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so that way, it is a little negative. But then on the healing side, it's been the best thing since sliced bread
Yeah. Yeah.
because without it, I'd be back straight on it, I reckon.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Music isn't the antidote, but it certainly helps tame the beast, doesn't it? As it were.
Definitely, yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if I hadn't found this, like I was at the time, I was very bored with the guitar. Um, if I hadn't found this when I did, I wouldn't like to think of where I might be now.
Yeah.
So
Mate, so we're like,
here I am. I've come from only having the clothes on my back. I'm in the shed. I've got my truck. I've got my boat. I've got my motorbike. Um, and I'm still living in a box.
it's the best man cave.
That's it, mate. That's it.
So,
So,
mate, what are your current things that you're really enjoying doing on Stick, and where do you see yourself in the next, say, 4 to 6 months?
um, I haven't really given it a lot of thought, to be honest. I play for my own enjoyment, and I've always done that with the guitar as well. I do a bit of busking every now and again, um, but I've never really enjoyed um, full public performance. It's more something that I do for myself, and I took the attitude. I did try it once with the guitar. Um, I played in a band called the Dirty Hearts up in Cloncurry, and we played the Mount Isa show. And I really didn't enjoy it. I had no fear of getting up there. I had no fear of playing out in front of all them people, but I didn't enjoy it like I do when I'm sitting at home and I can just chill out and shut my eyes and forget about everything.
Yeah,
So it came down to it's always been an attitude. Well, I don't want to make a chore of the thing that I love the most.
yeah, yeah,
So I love getting when I feel like it, and I want to go out and busk. Like I'll probably go out tomorrow at the Moama Market. That I enjoy because you get the interaction with people,
yeah,
and you can stop midway through a song, somebody asks you a question. Um, Whereas if you were doing a proper performance, a paid performance, you can't do that.
yeah.
So,
I think that's something that a lot of stick people can really relate to because I would say a good percentage of stickists actually picked up the instrument because they're either sick of their current instrument or they really felt that musically, um,
they're
that
drummers.
yeah, drummers. What about those crazy guys? I mean, I don't want to talk about me, but well, anyway. But obviously having a drum background, I ended up getting tired of being everyone's gig bitch, and I needed to create my own music. And you know that
Yep.
story. So, and I know I've seen it on stickers a lot. People are just really, we know we can carve out our own little niche on stick, and it's completely about the individual and our own expression and how we want to share that.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah,
But I totally agree with that because I mean I don't. I used to play quite a lot of um, random. I wouldn't call it 12 bar. I wouldn't call it progressive. I wouldn't call it anything. Very random blues orientated music, I would call it. And I still do the same thing with the stick now. And you don't have to remember anything. Your hands know where to go, and it's just I can't play lead on guitar at all, but I can on this.
yeah, yeah. I think we got uh, I think we've got Emmett to thank for the the way it's set up. Giving us 7 chords on the left side, and it's such a great mantle. We can easily develop some kind of self-contained musicality, and there's the motor side of the fourths and fifths tuning.
It's, it's definitely a very set up, very easy to learn. I found it a lot easier than guitar. Admittedly, I can tell you what I'm playing when I'm playing an E or an F on guitar. I couldn't tell you on this. Um,
Yeah,
but it's set up in such a way that it's naturally like, even for somebody like myself that doesn't read and doesn't know music, it's just a natural position for the hand to go to, and it just makes sense.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That's great.
it makes it fantastic for arranging stuff because it's just there.
Yeah. Is there something peculiar to you that you've found along the way that you think I haven't asked you about or we haven't talked about at any stage that you'd like to offer?
Um, Probably not. Oh, yeah. The separation of the hands was an interesting adventure. That even though I did play drums early in the piece, because I'd played guitar primarily for so long and in mainly finger picking styles, um, it took me a very long time. And if Greg watches this, he'll remember this. I really, really, really struggled for a very, very long time. It didn't matter what anybody told me or showed me or how many videos I watched. Just couldn't seem to get my head around the separation. And both Greg and Steve gave me a 2-3 time exercise to do. And for weeks, I tried to get, I worked on it for weeks and I just could not get it. And I don't know what I did one day, but just all of a sudden it just made sense and the hands did it.
Yeah,
And from then on, it's just, yeah, magic.
that's great.
I
Just
still
blind
can't,
perseverance.
I still can't do just Steve's ka-chunk. Still can't get
No, no, no. We'll
it.
leave that to him.
Yeah. Yeah, the backbeat's a little tricky for me, but I'm getting it.
Yeah.
I don't reckon I'm doing too bad for only playing like. Well, this arrived here in, I think it was June last year.
Is that all?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah. It
Yep.
strikes me as being a very much longer that I've been hearing you play that thing. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
talking of Steve Adelson, like or Greg, I mean, any of the great players, even there you can see the growth in 12 months. I was watching that video up on Facebook with Steve Adelson with Stanley Jordan, and I
Yeah,
thought,
cool.
man, he's just got so much other this sort of other overarching fluency happening now that you wouldn't have seen even a year ago. You know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So we it's the same thing for us. We just at a different part in our own journey. We're always developing, and you know.
That's right. Yeah. The best part about it is there's no like guitar. You've got so many limitations with genre. Uh, with this, there's virtually no limitation. That's the
Yeah.
best part of it. Because I've got a very, very strange taste in weird, different styles of music. I can go from, oh God, Fair Release to Thunderstruck. You know, like I love it all.
Yeah, that's
And I
great.
reckon I've worked out what my next song's going to be that I'm going to attempt to arrange on this day.
Oh yeah.
You'll like this one. The Boy Named Sue.
The what?
The Boy Named Sue.
Where the hell's that from?
You don't know that, Johnny Cash?
No. Oh, I think Johnny
Oh,
Cash is it?
oh, you got to look it up. That's funny. Really, really funny. Fantastic song.
Oh mate. Well, mate, do you want to take us out with something else?
Yeah, what'd you like, mate?
Oh, whatever you're feeling.
Where's my cloth gone? I suppose I probably should give you a good look at that while it's actually sitting in there. Not that anybody really wants to see my crotch, but anyway, that gives you a good indication as to how it fits. And it's just it sits there perfect. I haven't got the shoulder strap on at all at the moment. It just rests perfectly on the shoulder. Well, you can
It's a
play
thing of
around with it.
beauty.
Play something different. I've never actually seen anybody else do this song. And I've done a lot of time on YouTube trying to find unique stuff.
Cool.
And I don't think I've ever met anybody that didn't want to have a ride on Falcor. Oh, not having a good day.
That nice chromatic rundown there, mate. Do that again.
Yeah, never-ending story thing.
But what a beautiful melody, huh?
It is. It's very nice. Yeah. I love it. Only because I wanted to ride the dragon as a kid.
Yeah.
Actually, there is something that I'd really like to share. Um,
Yeah.
I've been working. I'm a big fan of the Cause. Absolutely love their music, and I've been able to. I haven't got real far with it a bit yet, but bit of Aaron Shaw,
Yeah.
one of their instrumentals. It's a pretty cool song, eh?
Well, I just want to say it's been good fun hanging out, and such a great approach you have. You know, you just straight into it, no fear, and it's been great. It's been a privilege and a pleasure to host it and for us to guest bag. So I'm sure lots of folk will be really looking forward to seeing this and be able to get in touch with you for all sorts of reasons.
No worries. Cheers, man. It's been a good day.
Yeah, yeah.
Good session.
Well,
Um, if anybody wants to inquire about the lap bars, feel free to drop us an email at scottnev@hotmail.com.au.
right on. Well, I'll see you next time, y'all.
No worries. I'll have to get down to that. Oh, is that a new one growing on the side of that neck? Oh, hey, you're a region now.
All
Take
right, mate.
care, mate.
Thanks, you too, me out.
Good on you, mate.
See you, mate.